Agent Fraley and Agent Graff, both from the TBI, what did they say? They didn't smell anything in that playhouse until they lifted the black bag, and immediately the smell of decomposition kicked in. I submit to you that about didn't work out though. The smell of decomposition. Don't let that fool. Mr. Scott also talked a lot about her. We heard a lot about this in this trial. Again, we hear any witness from the witness stand that ever saw Evelyn with Hunter Wood. If you remember the text messages that we saw yesterday from essentially Hunter's own mouth, it's pretty clear that he's yet another victim of Megan Boswell. She was feeding him the same lines that she was feeding every other person in this case. Mr. Scott brought up the theory of an accident, or the word SIDS. And you heard Dr. Malushnik say that in the past 10 years, in the state of Tennessee, a child 12 months or older has passed away from SIDS or sudden unexplained death. Those are statistics from the state of Tennessee. But somehow, Mr. Scott wants you to believe that somehow that's how this baby died, even though she has four wrapped around her head, a blanket wrapped around that, inside a trash bag, upside down, in a trash can. Let's go through our timeline. What do we know? We know that Evelyn was okay until November of 2019. We know that Evelyn was seen at Thanksgiving by family. And then Megan Boswell started a new job at the chicken shack. What do we know after that? Megan Boswell meets Hunter Wood. And we know that Sue Whitson is probably the last person to ever see Evelyn alive. Remember the picture that Sue took? This is very likely the very last picture of Evelyn Boswell alive. Not taken by Megan Boswell, but not taken by the babysitter. Sue Whitson testified that the last time she babysat was the end of November, early December, which just so happened to coincide with when Megan Boswell met Hunter Wood, a guy that she was hoping might change her life. But Evelyn was in the way. What did we hear? You remember Megan's friend, Maddie Brink. We heard a little bit about her. Her brother, Stephen Lawrence, tried to help Megan. She drove her to a few of the interviews. And if you remember, Megan was apartment shopping on December 8th. And on that day, Evelyn was not with her. And so Stephen asked her later, after it's been reported that Evelyn's missing, he says, "Was Evelyn gone by then?" And what did Megan say? Yes, Evelyn was gone by then. So that takes our window from December 3rd, essentially when Megan Boswell started working at the chicken shack, to December 8th. Evelyn Boswell's 12-month well visit. Remember that? Scheduled for December 5th. Megan doesn't call and cancel. It's no show. Casey Saltz, the receptionist there, had to reach out and ask Megan, and Megan gave some excuse, I can't remember what it was, as to why she couldn't bring her, so they rescheduled for the next day. Did Megan show up with Evelyn the next day? No, she didn't. I submit to you, that's because Evelyn was already gone at that point. Casey texts Megan again, and Megan has yet another excuse. The appointment's rescheduled one more time for December 11th And conveniently, Megan then says, "Oh, I've decided to change pediatricians." And as we can all imagine, when you change pediatricians, we all know that children have vaccine records and all of the things that come with being, especially that first 12 months of life. They've got a lot of appointments and a lot of vaccinations. So it'd be really, really important to transfer that information to the new pediatrician. Did Megan Boswell do that? No, she didn't. They never got a request from the new pediatrician. That was just another line that Megan Boswell told to start trying. I say trying to cover her tracks. We also know that on December 7th, we saw a text message yesterday from a girl named Haley Marie, and that is the very first time that Megan tells the story her dad has her. December 7th. Keep in mind, Sue Whitson saw Evelyn alive for the last time, and then Megan just stopped showing up, and then by December 7th, she's concocted her plan. And it really explains why so much time goes by. Because I know it's a question we have all had. 2.5 months goes by. 2.5 months. But now we know. We know why. Because Megan Boswell was telling every single person in her family and her closest friends that Evelyn was with her father. So what does a rational person think? Okay, we're glad. I think Tommy even said that from the stand. I was proud of him for stepping up. I was proud of him for stepping up and taking responsibility. You know, time continues to pass, and you've heard witnesses, and particularly Bailey and Ivy, maybe closest friends. They were all, when they were talking to things, like something doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. But no one could have known how wrong this was at the time. February 2020, finally, Connie Boswell says, "I've had enough. I want to see my granddaughter. Show her to me by tomorrow, or I'm reporting it to DCS." Well, Megan couldn't do that. Megan knew she couldn't do that because she knew where Evelyn was. We all know where Evelyn was. And so Megan did not produce Evelyn that day, and Tommy finally gets the ball rolling on trying to find Silver. And they first show up at Underwood's house on the lake, in a nice neighborhood, and Megan Boswell's there. But there's no baby. There's no Evelyn. If you remember, the only thing Megan, you remember James Lewis from DCS, the only thing Megan was really able to show was this box from Hunter's bedroom. You remember what Megan called that box? A memory box. Now, why would you call something a memory box if you were alleging that your child is still alive? This is all Megan Boswell had of Evelyn in that house. House that she was trying to show DCS that Evelyn was living in. She couldn't show him diapers. She couldn't show him a packet play. She showed him one outfit that she held up on a hanger. Not an outfit that Evelyn had ever worn. There was no that she held up on a hanger. Not an outfit that Evelyn had ever worn. There was no evidence that a child had ever been in that house. Now, let's touch on something.
Put it on another speaker, everybody.
If you remember Paul Durant yesterday, going back and trying to just give you a little bit of the timeline. If you remember, he talked about Ethan Perry in the military. Because Megan Boswell led him to believe that he was the father, even though he had his doubts. She convinced him that he was the father of Evelyn. We know he was not the father. We know that.
Well, who is
it? She said she was sharing photos daily, constantly sharing photos. Until what day? Do you remember the dates? December 3rd. On December 3rd, Megan Boswell stopped sharing photographs of Evelyn. And she continues to send pictures, but if you remember, Agent Durant he's a smart guy. So he was able to check her full Facebook extractions. And so she continued to send pictures to Ethan, but they weren't recent pictures. It was just another way that she could try to keep this facade going just as long as she could. Mr. Scott wants you to believe that Megan Boswell had a rough life. She was in foster care. But Megan Boswell was in foster care because of Megan Boswell. Because she would not go to school. She went to foster care because she was truant. And when she left foster care, she went and lived with her dad. Of course, Evelyn was a baby at this point. I think the testimony. And then her dad said, I'm going to get her a trailer, set her up. He bought her a brand new car, buys her a trailer. He's giving her everything she needs to raise this child. And she goes and lives with her mommy, her grandmother, from April until October of 2019. And then finally into the trailer from October to December.
Wow.
I think it's fair to say that she did not live in that trailer with Evelyn for very long.
October to December. Wow.
But in that short period of time, this is what she was able to do to that trailer. Can we look at that for a second? That's what she had her child living in. If that's not neglect.
Exactly. Come on.
In 2 months.
Preach it, girl. Preach it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I beg you to look at these pictures when you go back in the jury room.
Preach it, honey. Come on.
That, in 2 months, is what the defendant was
wow.
able to do.
2 months.
Her dad provided for her and her child.
Wow. Wow, wow.
And within 2 months, Evelyn was dead. I'm going to say that there are, maybe it's just my opinion, there are a lot of victims in this case. Bailey Hawkins, her very best friend. Did you see how difficult it was for Bailey to testify? To look at someone that she trusted, that she loved. Audrey Gibbs, same thing. They are also victims of Megan Boswell. And they will also suffer for the rest of their lives because of what Megan Boswell, the web that she created for them all to get caught in. Erica Stacy, who cared about Megan and Evelyn so much, is a victim. Gail Kite, the foster mother, she's a victim. Ethan Perry, who's serving his country, doing absolutely nothing other than his job, gets pulled up into Megan Boswell's web.
That's what happens.
Because Megan Boswell is only worried about Megan Boswell. I also mention to you that Hunter Wood, the person that they would like to blame somehow, is also a victim of Megan Boswell. She starts with first blaming Ethan Perry. She does that for a few days. And when she quickly realizes, gosh, law enforcement.
I don't have to tell you anything. It's self-explanatory. It's on the title of the video, Dodo Bird.
Then she goes to her mom.
Hell out of here.
She blames her mom, her own mother. She's willing to blame all the time knowing. I mean, we know. Let's find the picture. We know where everyone was.
Sounds stupid. Can't you read? It's in the damn title. Hey, Nanny.
See Evelyn? That's where Evelyn was.
Wow. Picture's worth 1,000 words.
There she is. Evelyn Boswell sat there in that trash can for 2.5 months.
Damn.
And her mom just started with her, not just Evelyn, but everything that was associated with Evelyn. Everything.
Exactly.
Because she didn't
Exactly.
need it anymore.
Exactly.
Everything. She didn't need that stroller anymore, so she left it behind. She didn't need the clothing. Do you remember all the pictures that came in and all that stuff that was in that shed? Because she didn't need it anymore.
That's why she killed her.
Evelyn was.
That's why she killed her, because he put her out.
Vince wants you to believe that Hunter Wood's the one that backed Megan's car up to that shed? In the middle of the day. In the middle of the day, Hunter's just going to go over there. He had a truck. The testimony was that Hunter had a big truck. Now, why in the world, if he had a truck, I mean, this clearly took more than one trip. I guarantee. Look at all the stuff. They want you to believe that Hunter Wood backed Megan Boswell's car up to that shed that day. Tommy came home. It was in the middle of the day. Where's the diagram? Do you remember the diagram of the scene?
She killed the kid, then she left. That's what she did. She killed the kid. That's why she left the stuff behind.
Look at this diagram. They somehow want you to believe that Hunter Wood pulls up this driveway and comes to this shed right here.
Go ahead, girl.
Right in front of Mommy's house.
The steak, she putting it on, ain't she?
Tommy's house up on the hill. In the middle of the day. Is that reasonable? What is reasonable? How about that Megan Boswell is the one who drove her own vehicle?
Exactly.
The vehicle her dad bought for her up to that shed because Megan Boswell is the one who had a key fob. Remember, there's a gate there that only opens with a key fob.
Uh-oh, come on with it.
That car is
Come on, preach, girl, preach.
And Megan Boswell lived there. You just heard that she lived at her dad's house and at her mommy's house, and so they're not going to be surprised if Megan Boswell.
Oh, she's telling it now.
She's the one.
She's telling it.
Evelyn's property there.
So you can't get in the gate.
Who took the trash can there?
So you can't get in the gate.
Not Hunter, not anyone else.
No stranger can get in the gate.
Boswell.
Wow. New information.
Do you remember? There was more than one text message. Of course, keep in mind, the whole time these text messages are coming through, that's where Evelyn is, okay? Just think about that for a second. I'm not going to take the time to go through these because you can do that. You can take all of this back with you to the district room. I encourage you to go back and read all of these text messages and remember the dates that we've talked about. But while Evelyn Boswell is sitting in this trash can and people are asking Megan, how's Evelyn? What does Megan say more than once? Me as fuck. First of all, she's a 12-month-old child. And every other witness said that she was a lovely child to be around. And that's not a very nice statement to begin with, but it's definitely not a very nice statement when your kid is shoved down into a trash can upside down. And you know that.
Woo.
Agent Fraley was on the stand, and you heard Megan Boswell admit that she knew Evelyn was dead. Where she's telling all of those stories to law enforcement.
Right.
And she told more than one person, Evelyn's mean as fuck. And when Agent Grass asked her about it, she goes, what's your point? What's your point?
Wow, wow, wow.
And that's an interview with Agent Grass that you can also go back and watch if you'd like to do that.
Well, she was telling you how she felt about her baby. That's all. She didn't care.
So we saw the defendant enjoyed crying during this trial.
I was going to say, is she crying now? Huh.
She has an audience, and she really enjoys that. But did we see her crying?
Interrogation, exactly. Come on, girl.
Did we see her crying from the witnesses on the witness stand and what they told us about her? Did we see her crying in the evidence that came in? No, Megan wasn't crying.
Wow.
Do you think she was crying when she filled out this apartment application?
Uh-oh.
With Hunter Wood?
Uh-oh.
Where they list 3 occupants are going to live in the apartment. And at first glance, we're like, oh, Megan, Hunter, and Evelyn. What the defendant told David Grass. Do you remember what she told him? She said the 3rd occupant is the baby she's pregnant with. Because Hunter doesn't want Evelyn to live with him. Of course, we can also look at the date on that application, January 4th of 2020. And we also know another reason that Evelyn would not be living with him. Was Megan crying here? In 2020,
I remember that post.
she posts on Instagram, so excited for our new home. Think Megan was crying when she posted that?
So how were they moving into an apartment if they were going to be in a house?
Moving on with her life.
This is crazy.
As if Evelyn never even existed.
So why would they be moving into an apartment if they're moving into a house? I don't understand.
Also posted in 2020. Keep in mind, Evelyn's still upside down in a trash can because Megan's not told anyone where she is. She's still spinning her lies. You think she sat here when she's picking up furniture for their new house?
Woo! She getting down, baby.
Does she sad today? She has the gall to sit here and cry today? Pretend she can't look at the pictures of what she did to her child? What about this one? Proud of my baby. New 2020 high country.
Wow.
Was she sad then? What about December? Weeks after Evelyn's been brutally murdered. What is Megan Boswell doing? Does she look, maybe we should zoom in, does she look sad here? Maybe she is. Sure doesn't look like it. Her kid's upside down in a trash can. She's going to the aquarium with her new boyfriend.
Wow.
What about here? She doesn't look very sad to me. Hiking in Blind Rock in 2020. No Evelyn. Evelyn's missing. Still missing at this time. There's Megan hiking with her new boyfriend, moving on with her life.
I don't know how they're going to top that closing statement, baby. Woo! Ain't no way. What can you say after this? Nothing.
Maybe Megan Boswell didn't have an game. Maybe she didn't know. Maybe she hoped that Evelyn would never be found.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how.
She had to know at some point these stories were going to hit her. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you today, 5 years later, February 2025, to show Megan Boswell that her stories have caught up with her. The evidence shows the defendant. This person is the only person responsible for her child being dead. You heard it straight from Dr. Melishnik. Evelyn shouldn't be dead.
Exactly.
Evelyn should not be dead.
Exactly.
I believe the defense brought up SIDS, reflux,
Heart valve.
rollover. I believe they even brought up a tongue tie as being a possible cause of death for Evelyn.
Everything.
How does that result? Any of those things. You know, he said in the beginning, the state can't even prove how she died. Are you kidding me? How does that end up with a baby in a trash can? The DNA, let's talk about the DNA for a second. You've got the gloves that are in the trash can. And the defense somehow wants you to believe that gloves will keep fingerprints from happening. And then I guess whoever did that then took the gloves off, cut them up, because they're cut up in small pieces, and you can look at them when you get back there, and then dispose of them in the same trash can that the baby's in.
Right. Woo! I didn't know that.
That
Damn.
doesn't make sense.
Wow.
That doesn't make sense. And funny enough, guess what is there? It's DNA that matches Megan Boswell, that matches Evelyn. Go back through the testimony. There's not one piece of DNA, not one, that shows anyone, not Hunter Wood, not anyone else, other than Megan Boswell is associated with that trash can. The evidence in the trash bags. And you heard Marla Gray, the DNA expert, talk about the mixture DNA on some pillows that were found in the shed. And you also heard her say that could even be from the person who made them in the factory. Or it could be from the person who touched the pillow at Walmart when they were trying to decide if they were going to buy it. It wasn't even enough DNA to test. So don't be led to believe that because of an unknown stranger who did these things. Look at the evidence. Look at the evidence that's in front of you. We have evidence. We have shown you the evidence. Don't think about the speculation. Don't think about the what ifs. Look at the evidence. It's really, really good. If I could cuss the trash can for just a second, please.
Uh-oh. Coming to OJ moment. Ugh.
Thank you.
Oh,
Whose
Lord.
fingerprints were on the trash can? Do you remember what Agent Hoover said from the TBI yesterday? Of course, he's removed the rim. He talked about how it's smooth under the rim. You're going to carry a trash can. How do you pick it up? Carry it under the rim. Whose fingerprints were under that rim? Megan Boswell. Megan Boswell's fingerprints were under that rim.
Yep. Because she carried it.
If we look at
She carried the can.
Exhibit 17, you see the black trash bag there? Whose fingerprints are on that trash bag? Megan Boswell's fingerprints. And you heard Dr. Malushnik say, and I think you can see for yourself, that trash bag's not just casually placed down into the trash can. It has been forcefully, and it's a hard image. It's a very difficult image to think about. But that's the evidence that we've been left with, that black trash bag was placed on top of Evelyn in the white trash bag. And it was forcefully pushed down.
Yeah.
Compressed, I think is a word that was used during
Wow.
and that's how Megan Boswell's fingerprints ended up on that black trash bag. Even more damning than that is the fact that Megan Boswell's fingerprints are on the foil.
Betty,
That's on
there's
Evelyn's head.
Betty, there's a title on the video.
I would love to know a different explanation for how Megan Boswell's fingerprints got on that foil, on that trash can, on the black trash bag,
Exactly.
except for the fact that she murdered her baby, she put her in that trash can
Exactly.
with food trash and debris, covered her body, essentially mummified her, and tossed her away, literally, with the trash. Mr. Scott would like for you to think that the doctor's testimony, just that they shouldn't be able to just decide things in a vacuum. He kept mentioning, well, what if the child's dead on a table?
Right.
And I think we all know that is not
Stupid.
how doctors operate. Doctors
Exactly.
operate off of medical histories and any information they can get. Doctors did in this case. They took everything. Her birth records, her pediatric records, the scene itself before they came to their conclusion. They don't operate in a vacuum. I think those were the words that Dr. Malushnik used. They do not operate in a vacuum. And they determined what? Both doctors agreed that this was a violent homicide. That Evelyn Boswell died from some sort of asphyxiation.
Exactly.
So, suffocation, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. So, if it was not for, say, the position of her body upside down in the trash can, that could have killed her. We'll say it wasn't that. Then maybe it was the blanket that was pulled up over. Remember that? How it was tightly pulled up over her face. That could have been what it was. Or it could have been upside down in the trash can. Could have also been the trash bag that she placed inside of, where she was unable to breathe.
Wow.
Could have been the foil that was wrapped around her head. Could have been the trash can itself. If you remember, the doctor testified that her face was compressed up against the side of the trash can. And her body was in a reverse S curve, to where
Yes.
her head was so far bent back into a reverse S because
Wow.
the defendant compressed her body down.
Exactly. Pushed her baby down in there.
Forcefully compressed her body.
Exactly.
Down to the trash can.
Wow, wow, wow.
Her head and neck were wrapped so tightly with foil that even when they removed the foil, you could still see the impression of the foil.
Exactly.
You could still see the trash can form still to her face.
Woo! Have mercy. Wow, wow,
But
wow.
I'm going to ask you to go to the verdict form page.
Oh, mercy. And she's just sitting there looking like a damn fool.
End of your packet. Page 50 is where it starts.
What a horrible
So
damn.
these verdict forms, I'm going to show you one example. Okay. So you'll see here, this is just for count 1, and I'm just giving it as an example. We, the jury, find the defendant and mark the appropriate box. So if you go back in the jury room and you agree as a whole that Megan Boswell is guilty of first-degree murder, you do not need to consider a law to put those on the verdict form for you. But if you unanimously agree that Megan Boswell is guilty of first-degree murder, you can check that box and move on. You are not required to go through every single one of those if you believe that she is guilty of what she's charged with in that count. And if you go through these, you will see that each count of the there are lesser included offenses for each one of these. Again, I will ask you that you can unanimously agree you do not need to go any further on that verdict form.
Oh,
The
man.
state has to prove several elements for each charge, and those are also in your count 1 is premeditated first-degree murder. That the defendant unlawfully killed the victim, that the defendant acted intentionally, and that the killing was premeditated. The next page defines premeditation for you as an act that was done after the exercise of reflection and judgment. It means that the intent to kill must have been formed prior to the act itself. So that means essentially if when Megan Boswell wrapped Evelyn in the blanket,
Intentional.
and you think, well, maybe she didn't have premeditation then. She could have formed premeditation in the time where she applied for oil. Or premeditation in the time that she put her in that trash bag. Or premeditation in the time that she pushed the next trash bag on top of her body. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you, there is nothing about this case that is not premeditated. Count 2 and count 3 are what we call felony murder in the state of Tennessee. That's where we allege that a murder happened during a certain felony. And these felonies are aggravated child abuse and aggravated. And those go hand in hand with premeditated first-degree murder. We submit to you that not only did the defendant abuse the child, but that she neglected the child. And one of the perfect examples, she left her in the trash can.
Yes.
That's neglect.
Yes.
Leaving her in the trash can, that's abuse.
Yes.
And it resulted in her death.
Yes.
Just felony murder.
Yes.
Then we have to prove that the child was under the age of 8.
All right, she'll get the death penalty. I don't know why you all didn't offer that.
False report. Page 29, I think is where it starts. And it's counts, I believe, 7 through 17. The state must prove that the statement was made by the defendant, that it was made in response to a legitimate inquiry by law enforcement, and that it concerned a material incident within the officer's concern. If you remember, the defendant herself admits more than once that what she told the police was not true. So I submit that the state has proven each of those counts. Count 19, abuse of a corpse, page 30. The state must prove that the defendant mistreated a corpse in a manner offensive to the sensibilities of an ordinary person, that she acted without legal privilege and acted knowingly. And I think that count speaks for itself, along with count 20, which is failure to report a death.
Wow. Oh, mercy.
A lot about this case really has been more about Megan Boswell than about this child, Evelyn. But Evelyn mattered. She deserved to grow up. She deserved that, but her mom took that away from her. And there's no evidence that anyone else was involved. I think you can see this was a pretty good investigation. It was very thorough, and the evidence continued to point in only one direction. The evidence only pointed at one person, Megan Boswell. She failed her daughter. She had the chance to keep her safe, to protect her, to give her to someone else that she couldn't
Exactly. Exactly. Could have given up for adoption.
There were people that she could have given Evelyn to that would have given her a beautiful life. But instead, she violently murdered her daughter. She told story after story after story for 2.5 months. And maybe the worst part is that she just went on with her life as if Evelyn had never even existed. But Evelyn did exist. Evelyn is a real person. And Megan Boswell should not be able to go on as if Evelyn did not exist.
Exactly.
There are things we will never know about what happened. None of us will ever know everything. I think it's fair to say that we do know that Evelyn was in the way. She was in the way of Megan Boswell living the life she thought she deserved, that she wanted to live. So Megan removed her. Simple as that.
Ooh, that's deep.
So today, 5 years later, almost 5 years to the day that Evelyn was reported missing, we are going to ask that you hold Megan Boswell accountable for what she did for her child. Submit to you the state has proven every count and every element of every count beyond reasonable doubt. But we are going to ask that you return a verdict guilty.
Thank you, gentlemen. Stop. They close.
Boy, he hurried and got to the podium, didn't he? He didn't let her sit down.
Jackson.
Now all he's going to talk about is they can't prove how she died. He's not going to talk about the garbage can.
There's a lot of emotion in this case, and Amber Massengill is very good at getting an emotional close and wanting you to get your emotions.
Well, they should. Hell, you talking about?
Jury instructions will tell you that this case is not about your emotion. It's not about sympathy. It's not about anything else. It's about proof of what's in the evidence.
Yeah.
That's what this case is about.
Wow.
This case is more about what Megan Boswell didn't do is what she did do. Now, I'll go back through the witnesses here with you in a minute. But the state seems to be putting forth the theory that you should convict her of first-degree murder because she didn't grieve appropriately. She had fun after her child died. Now, is it far-fetched to believe that the child died in the first part of December, like she says? No, that seems to be the point where you see Megan's personality start to change. But I'll suggest to you that change occurs when the child dies. You start to hear various friends come in, and they talk. I can name them for you. Let's talk about Megan's pediatrician. She was also technically would have been Megan's foster sister, I guess. She was the daughter of Megan's foster mother. She talked about Megan being a good mother. She acknowledged that. She witnessed that. Megan brought her to the doctor. You have an exhibit in the records. It's item 67. It came in through to the pediatrician. Read that page for page. It demonstrates that Megan is a good mother, Evelyn. She took her to the doctor for well checks. She took her to the doctor when she was sick. She got medicine for her.
And she left her in a nasty trailer.
She should do.
How about that?
And then she misses that appointment in December. And that's when this starts.
Yeah, whatever.
And I was admitting to you, when all of this really starts, the child is dead. Now,
Yeah.
we hear from other witnesses. We hear from
How did she get dead?
Paul Miller. That is Ethan Perry's grandfather. He had no reason to believe that she wasn't a good mother. Seemed like she liked being a mom. Saw
Yeah.
no signs of abuse or neglect.
Well, that's how they act, sweetheart. They act just like the client.
We heard from Audrey Gibbs.
That's when she changed.
She'd been with Megan almost every day after she moved to Knoxville in 2019.
Yeah, she's a dodo bird too.
She describes Megan as a good mom. There were a few things. There was one that needed to be changed. Once where they neglected to buckle the car seat. But those are mistakes. That's not child neglect. That's not child abuse.
Oh
Those
my
are
God.
mistakes. Audrey talks about Megan coming to Knoxville at the end of December sometime. And about that point, she acts disassociated. She's not normal. She's saying, I love you over and over again to her. So, again, maybe she's not grieving right. Bailey Hawkins.
She put her kid in a garbage can. Are you serious?
Bailey was with Megan.
Oh my God, I'm about to scream.
Sleep. Bailey thought they might do things. They might talk or whatever they might do. She just went to sleep.
So now he wants to say she's grieving.
She's disassociated.
Oh my goodness gracious, help me. Jesus.
Bailey saw no signs of abuse, no signs of neglect. Mr. Horn questioned her. She described Evelyn as the one consistent love that Megan had.
Yes, honey.
And Megan is a girl that comes from a world of fractured relationships. Miss Messenger wants to downplay Megan's home life. That Price did. There's a video in there. He talks about it.
Yeah, it's live. An argument. They've got several networks, different networks.
I know how you come up.
It's on
Mom and Dad, you
news
right.
and YouTube.
I mean, you want to talk about home life? Watch the video with Agent Fraley. Her mom was laid in there in stripes, the jail uniform.
I'm not really sure.
What kind of home
I
life
know
was that?
WBIR, I think's got it on.
Then we get to Caitlin Jones Carter, who you can make what you want of her testimony. Her body language tells me she's no longer baby free. However, she described, aside from the one day when she saw Evelyn in church, Megan had been a good mother. No signs of abuse, no signs of neglect.
Well, they obviously didn't go to the trailer, sir. Stop this
She said she
nonsense.
saw Evelyn sometime in December. She tried to tie it to her school, but she really doesn't give us a specific day. So I think the best you can say is that it's sometime in December. Gail Kite. Let's talk about her. Megan's foster mom. She gets Megan when Megan comes into her foster care. Megan's 7 months pregnant. She's 17 years old. Gail describes her as looking like she's not pregnant. It's big. We know from the medical records, the testimony come in from Dr. Smith. Megan suffered from uterine growth restriction at that time. We've heard that. So that's the shape she's in. But Gail talks about how she gets her in good shape. She has the baby. A loving mother. She takes care of the baby.
What the hell kind of... Sorry about
never
that.
saw abuse. Never had to.
What is that?
Never had
Use?
any doubts about Megan.
Let me see what that message. Yeah.
is Stacy, and that's the mother of Megan's ex-boyfriend, and his name is, I can't remember his name honestly, but his mother is his ex-boyfriend. She described Megan as a good mother. Evelyn was always clean. And I'll point something out to you. State wants you to believe that Megan just beats under wood, throws this child away from him. Didn't do that for, I think it's Caleb States. She didn't do that for Caleb. There are other boyfriends. Now there's talk about, one talk about even Mary thinking he was the boss. Well, the proof you've actually seen is they go about his feet as is the boss. And there's been no proof that Megan knew that he wasn't.
Let me pause for just a second so you all know what he's talking about. Uterine growth restriction. Growth restriction refers to a condition in which an unborn baby is smaller than it should be because it is not growing at a normal rate inside the womb. Mild FGR usually doesn't cause long-term problems. Intrauterine growth. So, sir, you're trying to put that as what? The reason why Evelyn died and your client stuffed her in the garbage can? Stop the nonsense. More than likely, the baby wasn't growing in her stomach because the mother wasn't taking care of her. Stay woke, everybody. For all we know, this girl was out here doing other type of stuff because what is the normal reason for being underweight while pregnant? You either have a health problem, you're using drugs, you're drinking. Just throwing that out there.
Let's talk about Randy Wood. Randy Wood is the father of Thunder. The state called him. The state is the one who listed the information about Thunder being in the hospital. That's the first you hear of the hospital at the state. You know, this messenger wants you to think I have some grand conspiracy theory.
You do?
No. I do have a statement from Lady Boswell, which talks to Agent Fraley about what happened in this case. She says, Hunter was there and everyone died. I wrapped her up and I swallowed her. I held her. She kept getting colder as the day went on. I didn't want her to get cold. Hunter took her and he got rid of her. Now, they want you to believe that that's just impossible.
Megan Boswell.
Why is Hunter not doing his DNA? Ask yourself that. If you have nothing to hide, why wouldn't you just let them test your DNA against all the evidence they have? Turns out they didn't test it properly.
Well, why didn't your client call 911? How about that?
Now, his dad said that he was schizophrenic. I asked him,
You're welcome.
schizophrenic and had hallucinations. He agreed with me. He also agreed with me when I asked him if he talked about using aluminum foil, tin foil. And he said, yeah, he talked about some awful lot of stuff. You know, actually, more likely to wrap that child in the child's mother that had cared for the child, taken care of the child. The boyfriend is schizophrenic.
Well, how'd you get in the gate? The gate, you need a key fob.
I'm not trying to
Stay woke, everybody.
build. That's not been my intention throughout this trial. The Megan's statement is that one of them rolled over on the bed. And everybody may think that.
Another lie.
There could have been other causes. When we get to the causes, I guess we can go ahead and we can talk about Dr. Smith and Dr. Willis. Now, Dr. Smith asked her about several different things. She's the lady who actually performed the autopsy. She formed an opinion of homicide based on the way the child was in the trash. But she did not tell you a medical basis for the child's death, other than the diagnosis of exclusion. The diagnosis of exclusion is simply, we don't know what else is wrong with We talked about the ages, how we don't know what causes it. She answered questions about it. She said, and ultimately, she could not rule that out in this case. Just like she could not say with any degree of certainty that the child was placed in the trash can alive and dead. She couldn't say that. She brought up that the child had a heart valve that leaked. She admitted in the cross-examination that could have been what killed the child. We talked about Larry and Jill.
She told you she could not find nothing in the tissue. She did not say that. This man is making up stuff.
Now, Ms. Maxfield I brought up tongue tie. I brought up GERD. I brought up the infection she had because all those things can lead to the onset of sin. That's the research, and Dr. Smith agreed with that. Now, I want to tell you something about Dr. Smith and Dr. Lewis. I think Dr. Smith she was the medical examiner at Johnson City at this house. Dr. Belushi is not her boss. It's not like she's somehow over her. Dr. Smith was the chiefest medical examiner for Jenkins Autopsy Center, Forensic Center. Subsequently, for whatever reason, the state sent her report to Dr. Belushi for another opinion. Dr. Belushi only reviewed her report, and she finds that it's a good report. But then she wants to go further and find some type of certainty that child was placed in the trash. You saw an exchange between me and her in here yesterday. It went on for 4 or 5 questions. I kept asking her, doctor, can you say any type of certainty? What can you say about this? Can you conclusively say that child was dead when it was wrapped in a blanket, wrapped in tinfoil, and put in the trash can? She evaded that question. She wouldn't answer that question. She finally answered that question only after it was threatened she would be in contempt that she didn't directly answer the question. And her answer was, no, I can't say conclusively. And then she threw out kind of a parting shot at me as she left. And to suggest to you the more accuracy of that parting shot, she said the child could have been murdered some other way. Should have been. The child could have died some other unknown way. That's what the truth was.
Well, she didn't. It wasn't unknown.
That this child was alive when it went in the trash can.
It didn't have no business going in the trash can.
The doctor who did the autopsy was very clear. She did not conclude that.
This man is sick.
It can be excluded, but it cannot be included. Dr. McLeish didn't come in with a preconceived notion that that's what happened.
Well, whatever happened to calling 911? Help me understand.
You know,
Yeah, right. Ask your client what happened to the baby. How about that?
They have to prove that child was unlawfully killed.
I'm heated.
The proof from Dr. Smith leaves open the heart, leaves open SIDS, laryngeal convulsion. It leaves open all those things. We don't know what happened. But he also left over a roll-up.
Those are things you're making up, sir. They did not offer any of those as reasons for the child to be dead.
Could you not come to a reasonable conclusion one of us must have rolled over on it?
Yeah. Lie number 12.
She's not sophisticated. She's had a hard life. She's scared she's going to get in trouble. Underwood's scared he's going to get in trouble. And that's why yes, she does.
He don't even know what he's saying.
Better take some baby dispose of it. She knows that. Is that right on her part?
Yeah. After 12 different stories.
Reported? She absolutely should. I told you that in my opening statement. Have they proved that she's a liar over and over? They have. None of that. They haven't proved murder.
Oh my God.
So you have more counts of false report than I can really count.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 11 or 12.
Why would he text her about the investigation if he killed her kid? Make that make sense.
Almost every time she's talking to law enforcement, you're considering a count of false report.
This lawyer is hideous.
The exception of, you're not considering one for the time she talks to Agent Franklin. That's not before you. I would submit to you what happened was the conversation with Agent Fraley on the 25th of February, almost 5 years ago. It was a breaking point. It's a breaking point where she finally admits Evelyn is dead. She's able to admit to herself. You saw all these pictures she's sending back and forth before that. That's how she's grieving. Maybe she doesn't want to accept that the child was dead. Maybe as long as she keeps talking about it, talking to the media, talking to the police, and saying that Evelyn is somewhere else, she believes that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how she's getting by.
And I'm a unicorn. Oh my God, please stop.
You can't judge someone for how they grieve. You don't know what goes through their head. You don't know what they were raised with. I've never lost a child. I hope none of you ever have.
Oh my
How am I
God.
to tell someone when they lose their child how they grieve? How do I do that? Amber can tell you that. Oh, she shouldn't have went here. She shouldn't have did that. How does she know that?
Wow.
She's not in Megan's shoes. She's not out there living in that single wide trailer. That's not her life. She's not been raised by drug addict parents. A dad that beats on her mom constantly. And sees that growing up. She's not seen that. She can't put herself in her shoes. It's not fair to say she murdered her child because she didn't grieve right. I resent it.
Good performance.
You should look at the evidence of this case. Do they prove the cause of death? That's the stopping point of the homicide counts. They can't do it.
Yeah.
They brought two medical examiners in here who contradicted each other. The first one, at least, has read her medical records. The second one talks about how she is perfectly a healthy child. She ignored everything in her medical records. She didn't talk about it. It was obvious to me. Should have been obvious to you. She hadn't read it. She didn't care. It was her job to come here and convict Megan Boswell of murder. If you don't believe that,
Boy,
why would she leave here and say, well, she better way?
you done got riled up, ain't you, brother?
She was obliged with it, and she wasn't aggressive with it.
Well, your client didn't call 911. How about that? And her fingerprints are on all the evidence in the garbage can. Stop this nonsense. Just stop it.
How did her one fingerprint, you know, did. Y'all see this roll? Maybe like this. My fingerprints on this roll. I'm taking this one. The next person to get
She told you that things would, the baby was decomposing in the garbage can. That's why the prints, all her prints aren't on there. Because it was mixed in with the decomposition.
What's another possible way?
You gotta stop this
We've
nonsense.
heard that the chemical had food. There's food in the green trash can.
This man is sick.
But maybe the chemical was already thrown away in the trash can. If it came off of a roll like that, whoever got it had to reach in there and got several pieces of chemical. Only 4. Prints all over.
Well, 2 of her prints were on it, sir.
One fingerprint.
Oh my God, this man ought to be ashamed of himself.
This is pretty stupid. Now,
Okay.
what about DNA?
So I guess the boogeyman put the foil on the baby's head. Wow, wow, wow.
Each and every one of your DNA is on your garbage can. Your DNA is all over the house. Your fingers. I said DNA, actually fingers. Your
This-
fingerprints are on it.
This man is sick.
It's kind of thing we don't think about, but that's, I think, that's what you can see. Right? Probably Evelyn's handprint on the track. At some point, I think the only thing I mentioned to you is unidentified palm print on the track. Well, I didn't know at the time it was a child, because it wasn't fingerprint analysis. It's not unbelievable that it's a child. Now, Mr. Maxon's going to read a statement. I'm a little perplexed with it. The statement, the defense wants you to believe that wearing gloves prevents putting fingerprints. You heard the fingerprint expert say that it can. I think we all know that. If you cover the fingerprint up, you're not going to leave it. Now, let's go back to the statement that they made February 25th. She's talked to law enforcement over and over. And she talks about how first thing,
I'm sick of listening to him. Oh my God.
she's telling the truth. How do you know she's telling the truth? Because if she's still trying to lie to you, still trying to confuse you, she wouldn't have said, I don't know where the baby is. It could be hundreds, it could be colleagues.
I'll just look out the window while he's putting on his performance.
Like this message will tell you. The baby could be at Thomas. Why would you do that? Ask yourself that question. She's telling them where the baby is. She says, I think it could have been left one of these two places because I want to find it. He'll have that video. You can watch it anytime you want. I hope you'll watch it. You hear Agent Fraley talk about how he'll go to the DA. She's a scared young mother. He understands that. Now, I don't have to prove it. I wish I could. You can't prove it.
Well, you have not done a good.
They've not proven the cause of death. They've not proven death was an off killing as opposed to an accident. There's some going over the bed to an accident or some kind of health related issue. They haven't proven that. But I go around in circles sometimes. I hope y'all are following. I apologize.
They don't really have to prove that because she's in the garbage can and the child didn't put herself in there. This man is crazy.
What those gloves tell us? They match up to anyone knows. They do match up to an unknown man. There's not enough profile there to match it to someone specifically identify them. It matches it up to an unknown man. That's why there's not multiple fingerprints on the tentpole of the child. Those gloves. That match some of them. We know it's male DNA. We know that. Finally, let me talk just a little bit about text thread. And
You could have demanded that boy get his DNA if you wanted it tested. Stop this nonsense.
it appears like Megan's telling Hunter the same story she's telling everyone else. Remember, Megan's told Agent Fraley that Hunter doesn't want his name brought. He doesn't want to be involved. He told her not to tell anybody anything about the child. At this point, Hunter, he throws out a name. And he talks about Agent Woolwood. He's been involved with the police. He knows the police are looking at this. This is February the 22nd. You guys see that text thread is, look at those texts. They're self-serving. I'm just worried about the baby. I just want the baby to return safe. That's Hunter and Megan's way of covering the law.
I don't believe that.
Not saying that Hunter killed that child. I'm saying he didn't expose the child. That text thread, it's just a convenient way to think about it.
You don't even, you gotta prove that he even saw the kid. My understanding, nobody saw the kid.
Conversation start texting. Oh no, I didn't do that. Look at my text. I texted her. She's told me this.
This man is crazy, man.
Convenient thing.
There's no proof he ever met Evelyn, saw Evelyn.
His dad talks about he went crazy because he saw the baby. Maybe he went crazy because of his participation in exposing that law. We don't know.
Well,
Everybody seems to agree he has went crazy.
well, you gotta prove that he ever saw the kid.
This morning, that's where he's been held out of court over Virginia to evaluate and see where he's talking some kind of disease. He's understanding right now. See what I can do. That's all we're doing.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hope I didn't play. Hope argument itself somehow in this case. Well, it would say that you have questions. You have questions about any of the elements in this crime. Your questions are not answered to your satisfaction. You have reasonable doubt. If you say, I don't know how that child died, that's reasonable doubt for homicide. I don't think I have much more to say to you. I go to a Baptist church and I hate one of the services. I think I've been up here for about half an hour.
Now he's going to church. Now they want to throw church in there. This man is full of shit. My understanding, he never even met the little girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, much like Megan Boswell, Mr. Scott seems to have some very convenient
Yes, exactly.
explanations
Exactly.
for what happened in this case. Lots of things that happened in this case. All of the evidence in this case that points to his client, he's got some sort of explanation for it. But the problem is, in order to buy into this, in order to believe it, you have to believe Megan Boswell. You have to believe
Exactly.
that when she spoke to Agent Fraley on
Great
the
point.
25th, that she was somehow, for the first and only time in this courtroom,
I hope not either, Danielle.
speaking the truth. But I think each of you, as you sit here, know that's not possible. That's not possible.
He's making a great point.
Megan Boswell is one of those people, you used to hear the expression, the truth ain't in.
Exactly.
The truth's not in Megan Boswell.
Exactly.
She doesn't.
Mhm.
Everything that she tells every person in her life is for some reason. That reason is Megan's trying to get something out of it. She is a master manipulator. Even at 17 years old, you sit there and watch those videos. She's trying to play everybody. She's trying to play the law enforcement officers who are interviewing her. She's playing her friends. Every person in her life who walks through that gate and sat up on that witness chair was in some way manipulated.
Exactly.
By Megan Boswell. Some way. Whether it was about Evelyn, whether it was about how she was going to pay for a babysitter, whether you're the father of my child.
Woo, come on, preach.
You're a great grandfather. Whether your wife who's dying of cancer is babysitting the kid. She knows no bounds. There is no person that she will not manipulate and tell untruths about into. No one. But Mr. Scott comes in here today and says, hey, come on, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the 25th, you did that was the point. You decided,
Right.
Hey, I'm going to be truthful.
Right, right.
Oh, wait a minute. It was just another story.
Casey Anthony 2.0. I'll say my dad did it.
Was asking the question, when did this first thing about accidents and rollovers, when did that come up? Well, it came up when police and law enforcement finally said, yeah, we got nothing going on here. We got to give her an out. We got to give her something so we can try to find this kid. They're the ones who suggested it. Then very conveniently, the next day, she comes in, and guess what? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry I've been lying to you all for days and days and days now. But now I'm going to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what happened. I submit to you, the only time that Megan Boswell may have told the truth about some small portion, if you remember during one of the interviews, Lieutenant Price, who had been very patient with her up until that point in time, finally said, come on, something happened. And she stopped him and corrected him. Remember? He said, no, something happened before December 21st. Yeah, something did. She murdered her child.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened before December 21st. Ladies and gentlemen, before I speak further about the physical evidence that shows that Ms. Boswell is the one who is guilty in this case and who needs to be held accountable, I want to take you back to jury selection. Last week, when you all were first up here and up there, and I asked you if all of you had brought your common sense with you. All of you, as you listen to the evidence in the case, use your common sense, and everyone agreed that you would. So I want to remind you of that. And it reminds you to apply that to the evidence that you've heard, the testimony that you've heard in this case. Because the defense wants to say that perhaps, again, speculate, it's a possibility that Evelyn just died one day.
Right. Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, Megan engages in this pattern of just totally bizarre behavior that involves pressing her head in aluminum foil, stuffing her in a trash can.
Come on with it.
Engaging in this just convoluted tale to anybody who wants to inquire about what's going on with Evelyn. But it's a remarkable coincidence. Is it at the same time that she starts working at the chicken? And then she meets Hunter Wood. You know, that Hunter, one who lives out on the lake, the house.
The house she wants.
Remember, this is what Megan said.
Trailer life.
Before December.
Nasty house.
Megan subjecting her child to.
Exactly.
Then she meets Hunter Wood. Out by the lake. Dad owns a business that I'm working at. One of the other things she's telling investigators as time goes on. He didn't break. Watching 3 kids. Remember, mom had the 2 other young siblings. He didn't break. He's tired. When did Ethan Perry step up? I've been raising this kid for a whole year by myself. Probably a little bit of truth in there. A little bit of truth. But it's a remarkable coincidence. This kid, Evelyn, natural causes, just dies right at the same time.
Woo! Come on, preach it, honey. Right.
Apply your common sense and asking yourselves why.
Exactly.
Why? 7, she tells Bailey Hawkins, hey, it's just me. His grandma has Evelyn right now. December 7th. Remember, she starts the chicken shack the 7th, 5 days. 5 days later. Why does she start telling all these things that are obviously not true?
Right. Because the baby's dead.
Evelyn's sick. She's got the flu. Can't bring her up there to get the Christmas kids. But you see her. Why does she do that? Why does a mom, everybody's testimony, everybody's, and the other moms, don't do it. Yeah, she wasn't a perfect mom, but
And she wasn't going to take Hunter to that nasty trailer.
Pictures on Facebook, Instagram.
Stay woke, everybody.
Everybody. Her OB nutrition doctor, she came in here.
She never took that boy to that nasty trailer.
She's a good kid. We didn't have any concerns. Healthy, meeting milestones, an advanced child. Why does a mom who dotes over her kid, who won't even let anybody babysit, she's so protective of this child? Remember Erica Stacy? Evan Stace. That's an ex-boyfriend's mom who is willing to babysit the kid so that her son can go on dates with her. She won't let her do it. She will not let her babysit. That's how protective she is of this child. So why? Plain common sense. She won't do it because she can't face the truth about what she's done.
Mm-hmm.
She can't face that truth. She can't look at that picture. I'm not going to put it back up there for you. She can't face what she's done to that child. Discarding her like a piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So she did. She can't face that truth. So she engages in just spinning all these stories to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that comes with the story.
Exactly.
She's deflecting it out. Because she doesn't want to face that.
Wow. Wow.
It is almost unbelievable to me that it's still arguing that Hunter would have some involvement in this case.
Right.
I mean, truly unbelievable to me. They're making that argument. That has no credibility, number one. And two, no proof whatsoever. Not a single shred of evidence has been presented in this court that ties Hunter Wood to anything dealing with the death of Evelyn Boswell. Not one thing. It's all just rank speculation.
They haven't even proven that he met the child.
Therefore, he must have done something. Right?
I don't even think the child was alive.
How many people walked up there to that witness stand and said, oh yeah, I remember when I saw Hunter
And the baby. Woo! Come on with it, preacher. Come on. Exactly.
How many people said, oh, yeah, I remember when I saw Hunter hold Evelyn
At the chicken shack. Exactly.
No evidence.
Exactly.
Ever put Hunter as evidence. She evidently wants you to believe, again, I'll put this picture back up there. She wants you to believe that Hunter, remember her, when she's talking to Agent Fraley, that Hunter went over to her place.
Right.
That's her place.
That nasty place. Come
Spent the
on.
night with her and rolled over on the child.
Woo! Come on, preach it, honey.
He's got a place over, nice place over on the lake.
Right. She ain't gonna take him there. Uh-huh.
From Grace's point, where she's finally telling.
Oh my goodness.
Why did common sense for that?
Exactly.
What else possibly ties Hunter?
Dirty diapers in the floor with boo-boo. She would never take him there.
So from Tommy's property.
Mm-mm.
No. Again, we know Evelyn is gone 5 days after she first met Hunter.
Uh-huh.
Chicken shack. But maybe Boswell wants you to believe that he's been able to go onto her property,
Woo!
stick a body in a trash can in a playhouse that was built for Megan Boswell.
Wow.
Mr. Scott asked you, and I wrote it down.
No way she took him to that nasty trailer. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way in hell. She took him to that nasty trailer. Ain't no way. She didn't take nobody out there. That's why all these people can make up all this shit about she was a good mother. They ain't been in that damn trailer.
He asked you who was more likely to have left print on the floor. Well, I'll tell you who's more likely to have left a print on the floor. The person whose print was found on the floor. Megan Boswell stands up here, and again, we've got explanations for everything. Well, maybe it's possible she tore sheet off earlier doing that.
Come on, district attorney.
There's no Hunter Wood prints on any of the foil. The bag is stuffed on top of the body where Evelyn's found. Multiple prints on none of them belong to Hunter. They all belong to Megan Boswell.
Woo. Boy, he's laying that case out, I tell you.
He wants to say, again, still beyond my comprehension, we're talking about Hunter Wood here. Would the Hunter give a DNA sample? Well, perhaps because Hunter is being mucked up in Megan's world here. My gosh. Here I am dating this girl, and all of a sudden I got TBI agents asking me about a child that's missing. And no explanation for it. Maybe that's why. And again, in this particular case, you heard from Andy Gregor. What is it then? There's nothing that was tested. All those things she testified to against her. All of them. All those things I handed up to her. She analyzed. Not one piece of them had any identifiable DNA on it. It could be tied back to Hunter. None. Everything. Megan's or evidence or limited profile. Because I remember I asked him, like, everybody in the world's DNA too. We've been able to match any DNA to Hunter Wood. Nothing. Nothing. Everything connected that body in the trash can was that Megan Boswell.
Wow, wow, wow.
And then, let's not forget, the middle, while all this is going on, February 22nd, Megan's child's missing. They question Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
They have this conversation. And Mr. Scott wants you to believe that this is some kind of contrived thing between Megan and Hunter. But what evidence did you hear that there was any sort of contrived conversation?
Right.
Nothing. Again, nothing. In order to believe that, you've got to believe one person, Megan Boswell. And we know you can't believe her. No. Hunter says, yeah, but where's the baby? I just want the baby to be found safely.
Yeah. Now, why would he ask her that if he killed her?
Trying to cover this up.
What the hell?
She says, Dad won't let me go anywhere.
He wouldn't be texting her.
Hunter, I can't disclose stuff to you here about what TBIs do.
Okay.
His concern, please assure me the baby will be found and brought home safely.
But he killed the kid.
That's not a conversation with someone you have.
Exactly.
That's disposable box.
Exactly. He wouldn't be talking to her at all.
You're a dead child. That's not a conversation.
You can meet in person to talk.
Not at all. Not at all.
You know not to talk on the phone.
Defense has also talked to you about these things that medical conditions that they questioned examiners about yesterday. Possible
Right.
things that might have caused Evelyn to just suddenly die of natural causes. perfectly healthy child. Again, he's asking me to speculate about possibilities. We don't decide this case on possibilities. If you think about it, ladies, you didn't hear from just 2 doctors about Evelyn's condition.
Heard from a
about what
pediatrician.
kind of child she was. You heard from 3 doctors. Her pediatrician testified in this case too. But what did she tell you? Evelyn was a healthy child.
Exactly.
Advanced, and met all of her milestones. Any concern? No, her concern was that on December the 5th, she doesn't show up for her year checkup.
But yet her lawyers, they're doctors now.
That's her concern. Not, everyone's got tongue cough. I'm concerned maybe she's going down and sick.
Exactly.
Not, oh, she's got some sort of reflux going on. I'm afraid she might be at risk to suddenly die. That's not her concern. And remember, Mr. Scott didn't talk about this because you don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Dr. Belushi yesterday about statistics. This wasn't just her opinion. These are statistics kept by the Department of Health in Tennessee about the number of kids over 1 year of age died from rolling deaths. Entire state of Tennessee last year. No. Entire state of Tennessee last 10 years. No. But yet, they want you to believe that's a possibility for this case. She's the first one. The first one. No. It's not a possibility. You decide this case on the evidence that you've heard, the testimony you've heard from that witness stand. And the testimony you heard, 2 different medical examiners, that this child died from asphyxiation. That's what they told you. Both of them. Said they had contrary opinions. They didn't have contrary opinions. One of them had a little stronger opinion, but they both had the same opinion. They both told you the cause of death was the same thing. Asphyxiation.
Mm-hmm.
All the evidence in this case points to one person alone as being the person who caused that asphyxiation. That BOSWELL. This wasn't an accident, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't an accident at all. You've got lots of evidence of premeditation sitting over there in that box. This isn't a little piece of tinfoil. This isn't foil like stick around a baking potato, stick it in the oven. You saw
Oh my goodness. I can't.
It's a big old piece of. Scott wants to suggest maybe it's sit down in the trash can and somebody pulled it out. Nobody's using that much foil. Here's it again. Here's your common sense. And remember,
Okay. Oh my goodness. What he say? Nobody using that much foil.
like it so tight, they're taking it off. The impressions left on that child's face. With foil, how painstakingly slow they had to pull it off. Because it was tightly compressed around the child's head.
Oh, it's okay, Nanny. I'm ready to end this myself, honey.
That's intent. That's not an accident.
Yeah. She stuffed her down in that garbage can. She made sure to stuff her. That make you think that maybe she was alive. Because why are you going to keep stuffing something down in the garbage? That don't make any sense. Stuff her down in the garbage can.
It really is. It's tight. You think about all those people that you heard testify, how easily all of this could have been avoided. All these people. Bailey Hawkins, Audrey Gibbs, Casey Saltz, Gail Kite, Paul Millen, Mary Stacy. Any one of those people would have taken that child. All of this could have been avoided.
Nobody said anything. The father, he knew she wasn't taking care of the kid.
Boswell only cares about one person, and that's Megan Boswell.
Lord of mercy. God bless the children.
She started a facade back first week in December after she killed her child. She created this world, this web, you've heard it called. That's a pretty good description of it. It's a web. It tracks and it snares everybody that she comes into contact with.
Mm-hmm.
She started this facade back then, and it's continued. She brought it into here, this courtroom, in front of you. She's trying to get you all to believe the rollover, believe the accident, believe my child died of natural causes, and that I just flipped out and engaged in this totally bizarre behavior. But in order to do that, you have to ignore the evidence in this case.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ignore forensics that place her and her alone as the perpetrator of this crime. This case is the very opposite of an accident. It's an intentional and knowing murder of a child. Megan Boswell got rid of Evelyn so that Megan could be Megan. She enjoyed it. You see the pictures General Nightingale showed you? Hanging out on Golden Rod, Golden Aquarium, Super Bowl party. Sits here in this courtroom today as guilty as she was back in that first week in December. As guilty as she was on February the 18th. She first came in there, taking her ass. James Lewis there. Checked her eyes. What are you going to do? You're going to find my child? What do you do when a child goes this? Remember those expressions? This question she threw out there? She sits here in this courtroom today, as guilty as she was then, because she never learned one lesson that we all know, which is that you're responsible for your actions and your choices in life.
Yeah.
She sits here because she refused to learn that lesson. You've heard her interviews. She takes responsibility for nothing. But today is the day you get to hold her responsible for those actions, for her poor choices and decisions, for her decision to get rid of Evelyn, dispose of her like a piece of garbage. That's what she did, ladies and gentlemen. She disposed of her child like a piece of garbage. But her poor choices and decisions have a price, they have a consequence. The state has proven to you over the course of the last week, Megan Boswell is guilty. First-degree murder, false report, tampering with evidence,
Yes.
and failing to report that death to
Yes.
authorities. We ask today that you hold her responsible for those poor decisions by finding her guilty
Woo.
as charged.
Amen. Now start crying. Look at her, all hunched over. She looks a mess. She's sick. She chose this. This was her choice. She didn't have to do it. She didn't have to do it. 2.5 months of freedom in exchange for killing a kid. It's a hell of a gamble, but that was her choice. I believe she's sweating. Her hair's sweating. She's sick. Look at her. She's sick. Look at her face. Look at her face. She has not looked like that not one day in court. She's sweating. She's sick. She's sick. That's the first crazy look she's had since she walked into court in all of 5 years. She knows what she's done. She's perspiring up there. She's getting ill. Lord have mercy. You can't tell me God ain't working.
Mr. Hyatt, Mr. Selmer, Mr. Arnett, you're the 3 alternates. You will go with the officer.
She's become ill in that courtroom.
Just leave her in the seat. And your notes as well. We'll take care.
Oh, Nanny, please stop. Girl, you a mess.
The rest, what do you mean?
She's never looked like that in court.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish the charge.
She's sick. It looked like she's about to throw up.
Now, back on page 49. When you retire to the jury room, you'll first select one of your members as foreperson who will preside over your deliberation.
Mm-hmm.
When you have reached a verdict, you will return with it to this courtroom, and your foreperson will deliver the verdict form.
And that devil got a hold of her, honey.
Review the presentment, the exhibits, the verdict forms, the court's written instructions. You may retire and consider your verdict. As soon as the
Oh, yeah. The devil got a hold of her. He got her ass. That's what people don't understand about working for Satan. He don't pay you nothing, so you working for free. And that's what she got in exchange, nothing. Yeah, always got the glasses, grinning, and shit. She's sick. You could tell she's gotten ill in there. Because she, after that, both of those attorneys have gotten up there and they out. She's replaying everything they said, every lie, every story, every web, everybody she brought in her snare who fooled with her. That's why she had nobody testifying, you know? No witnesses, nobody to say, hey, she's a great girl. What they thought they knew was a lie. They ain't been out there to that nasty ass trailer to see how she was living. You only know her walking into the pediatrician or walking into a restaurant. That's not enough. That's not enough. You don't know people. It's like all those people sitting in there. You don't know how they live in there, in their house. You can look at all those people in that room. What do we know about these people? Nothing. She's no different than the people in the courtroom. The jury, too. You don't know people.
We'll be recess, waiting verdict.
That's a wrap. Wow. That's that. Hold on, everybody. I played it on my other speaker so it'd be louder. Guess that's that. Weigh in, everybody. Yeah, I guess they went on out. Well, it is what it is. I'll go to my community page, see how you all weighed. What say you to chat? Guilty, not guilty, lesser charges, what? Will she be found guilty on all 19 charges? Weigh in. Let's go to my community page and see what you all have to say. I don't know, baby. But I'm getting tired of sitting here. I've had enough of this heifer. Because just, I don't care for courtrooms. I don't care for none of that. Has the state proved their case against Megan Boswell? 81% yes, 13% no, 6% not sure. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, Lord. I won't stop here. This is a sad day. Sad and pathetic, horrendous. It's the fact this child didn't have a chance. And Megan could have changed all this, but she decided to do her. And she's not the only one. I saw a video earlier, a title where two kids Trump of a woman's car. Let me put that in here. Hold on before I get out of here. Kids are murdered every day. So just as quick as we're talking about this case, we'll hear another case, and then another case, and then another case. It's sickening. There's always somebody murdering a kid. Also, the woman whose 2 children were found dead inside of her van up in Detroit at the casino parking garage, she's decided to come out and speak to the public. Will the district attorney charge her with murder of her 2 children? She says she called different places, out of state, in state, for beds to sleep in for her and her children, and nobody ever called her back. And also, her mother was also in that van with her 48-year-old mother and her mother's child. Why are 2 grown women sleeping in a van in the dead of winter with their children in tow? This is a crazy story. It's a very crazy story. Let's see. 3 years ago, I thought I saw something. It's 2 dead children found in a trunk during Baltimore. I remember that story, but I think I got an update. Maybe she got found guilty. There it is. Sentenced to 50 years. That's it right there. She got her sentence. Sorry about that.
A Baltimore woman is sentenced to life in prison with all but 50 years suspended of her niece and nephew. Back in 2021, you may remember Baltimore County Police pulled over Nicole Johnson and found the decomposing remains of the children in the trunk of her car. Police say they were 7-year-old niece Jocelyn Johnson and her 5-year-old nephew Larry O'Neill. Court documents in the case indicate Johnson was taking care of the children because their mother could not. The children were malnourished and underweight. The official cause of death has not been determined.
Wow, not determined. Well, what did the kids die from? Jeez. 50 years. Sorry about the background. Neighbor's dog's barking. Hold on. Let's see. Let me get this out of here. Get an update from the lady. I'll go to my community page. Hold on. The lady with her kids. So will this lady sue the city of Detroit since they turned her away and said they didn't have no beds? The mayor the other day said they did have beds, 100+ beds for people who just dropping in at the spur of the moment. So what's the truth? This is bad. This is really, really bad. There is Kanye West. Check out that post I got where he's got all his nasty posts up. He is now off of Shopify, and X. Elon Musk has deactivated his account, and he's off of Shopify for violating their protocol, because when you go to the website, it was swastikas on a t-shirt. He knows better. He's disgusting. And he's going to meet his maker too. He keeps on. All these people need to get it together. Need to grow up. Acting like damn buffoons. Okay, got a lot of Megan Boswell stuff. This is a story I'm working on right now. I want to bring you that. Guy took a woman back to the hotel. He never walked out. Now they got 2 other men that come forward to say she drugged them and robbed them too. Wow, wow, wow. Crazy story. Got to be careful who you hook up with. That 52 minutes. I already said that one. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. Update, woman, 2 children die in van. Hold on, everybody. Wait a minute. 2 children found in van in Detroit. Two children found in van dead. Trying to see the mother speaks out. What in the world? There we go. All right, everybody. So everybody, it's jury deliberations right now for the Megan Boswell trial, if you're curious.
A mother of 2 children who likely died from hypothermia in a car.
Well, this volume is so low.
2-year-old daughter were found unresponsive after spending the night in the Hollywood casino parking garage.
Over the past 24 hours, questions have been raised about why the family didn't get help. During a press conference today, Mayor Mike Duggan revealed that family called the city in November, but nothing was done.
For whatever reason, this wasn't deemed an emergency that caused an outreach worker to visit the family.
Tonight I sat down with that mother. She is 29-year-old Tatiana Williams. She told me she and her 4 children had been living in their van for the past 3 months.
Is it because she was living in someone's house at the time?
Oh, I don't know what it is. There's so many stories going around.
Maybe that's why.
I haven't even got the right story for my own kids. But one thing I know is they could never be cold in their car. Because I keep gas in that car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids in heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death.
Well, what happened?
But I called everybody. I called out of state. I called different cities. I called Detroit. I got on the count list. I've been on the count list for a long time. Nobody. Every time I call, it says no shelter, no bed. I thought I was doing the right thing. I tried to keep them warm at night. That's it. I was just trying to keep them warm.
Oh, Lord,
Nobody
Lord, Lord.
helped me. It took me to lose 2 of my kids to get this help. I don't feel good about it.
If you ever find yourself without shelter, there
Oh,
are
Lordy.
resources for you. Just scan the QR code on your screen to be taken to clickondetroit.com. We posted those resources there. Also, everything we've learned so far about this horrible case. In November, but nothing was done.
For whatever reason.
Well, what's the truth?
An outreach worker to visit the
Why didn't the worker,
29-year-old Tatiana Williams.
why didn't the worker go see her? Is it because she said she was staying in somebody's house, so the worker felt like, well, you're in there, we're not going to come out. Now, maybe if she was somewhere on the street or in a park or in the van, parked somewhere, they would say, okay, she's homeless, we can help her. Because so long as she's already in a structure, they don't have to believe, that she's telling the truth. So did you all go to where she was or you didn't go? Because I believe he just said nobody went. Maybe that's why they didn't go, is because she called and said, yeah, I'm staying here, but they want me out. Maybe they have to see proof that you're out. A lot of places want to see proof that you are actually on the street, sleeping in your car. 10. Stay woke. But something went wrong. She said she called other places, out of town, out of state, in the state, and they're going back spring and summer. She was living pillar to post, staying with people, I guess different people maybe. And naturally, 6 people, that's a lot for a person to take on, especially if they got other kids too. Do you feel like this woman did her part? Where I find it strange is that she and her mother both were sleeping in this van with their kids. Something's really off about that. 2 people can't get together to get housing for children. Something just don't add up there. I'm not, trying to knock her situation because I don't know her situation. They said she did have a place to live at one point, but don't know how long ago that was, what the circumstances are for why she didn't live there in that apartment anymore. Did she get evicted? She couldn't pay her rent, stop paying her rent? Is she on drugs, alcohol? What? Trafficking too many people, drugs, what? I don't know. But the fact that now we know her mother was living there with her too, that's very strange to me. Her mother and her child. So we have 2 working or 2 able-bodied adults living in a house with children, living in a van rather with children. Why can't these 2 people go get a place? Why couldn't one of the other ones go get a place? Do they have criminal backgrounds? What are we talking about here? This is a very bizarre story. And you now see her sitting in this room talking, don't know where this room is, so she's obviously not in handcuffs. She's not behind a glass talking to the reporter, so maybe they're not charging her. Or are they waiting on the autopsy before they decide to bring her up on charges? They said hypothermia. Now she's saying, no, my kids didn't freeze to death. But yet she's steady saying, oh, I try to keep them warm. So if you're saying you try to keep them warm, then why don't you agree with the autopsy report? I'm confused. I'm utterly confused. I'm just trying to understand why one of these women couldn't have gotten an apartment somewhere. Why couldn't the mother go get an apartment? Her mother go get an apartment somewhere. Help me understand. I want to look this up for a minute, because they give you more information in the articles. We're going to go to the Detroit Free Press, see what they have to say. Hello, everybody. This is a picture of the hotel. The casino where she parked her car on the 9th floor with her mom and kids. Sorry about that. Well, I don't know. Why did that jump off? Hold on. This is a hotel in Detroit. I keep saying hotel, casino. Why did they park there? Is it because she felt safer there, parked there before? Believe she ran out of gas. What's the truth? Don't know. Yeah, all those kids, they could stay warm. That's why I'm trying to figure out how did they freeze. 2 children apparently froze to death while they slept in a van in a downtown casino parking structure, according to Detroit police. Mother and her 5 children are unhoused and had been living in the van. A police spokesperson confirmed Monday the mother pulled into the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking garage about 1 a.m., drove up to the 9th floor and parked. According to Captain Nathan Duda of Detroit Police, the car ran out of gas soon after. So probably ran out of gas because you're running the car to stay warm, running the heat. By noon on Monday, so now we're 11 hours in, police said the mother noticed one of her children, a 9-year-old boy, was not breathing and called a friend to take the child to the hospital. Both children, hold on one second. I skipped over this. The children's grandmother, who was with the family, then reported that another child, a 2-year-old girl, was not breathing, police said. The friend returned to the parking structure to take the girl to the hospital. So first we got a boy one kid not breathing. She calls a friend that take that kid to the hospital. Then it says the grandmother, who was also in the car, she then says, oh, the 2-year-old, she's not breathing. This is crazy. So then the friend returned to the parking structure to take the girl to the hospital. Both children died. Cause of death hasn't yet been confirmed by the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office, but police said it appears the children froze to death. The temperature early Monday was in the low to mid-teens. The 3 surviving children were hospitalized and are in stable condition, police said. Duda said the mother was detained but not yet charged. Hollywood Casino referred calls to Detroit police. They will not be providing any additional information statement at this time, but recommend following up with the Detroit police with any questions, said Jason Brown, spokesperson for Hollywood Casino at Greektown, in an email to the Free Press. So, if any of you are homeless in this general area, you must call the Coordinated Assessment Model, or CAM, the main way for people facing homelessness in Detroit. It says Hamtramck and Highland Park. It says housing help. To reach CAM, those in need of shelter, call 313-305-0311 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, according to the website. People can also go to an in-person campsite at the following locations: Cass Community Social Services at 11850 Woodrow Wilson Street, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Noah at Central 23 East Adams, second floor, 9:30 to 3:30, Monday through Thursday. Detroit Rescue Missions, Families and Single Women, 12900 West Chicago. And Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries, Single Men, 3535 3rd Avenue. Or go to camdetroit.org. All lowercase letters. Let's see. Detroit Recreation Centers and Public Libraries are also available during regular operating hours. Detroit Public Library, Main Library, Midtown is open from 10 to 6. So I guess what are you telling people? You want the home to hang at the library? Oh, Lord. Detroiters who are facing homelessness or housing insecurity can call the City of Detroit's Housing Resource Helpline. Once again, 866-313-2520. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. And also they have warming centers in Wayne County, Macomb County, Oakland County. And if you need to find help in the state of Michigan for emergency shelter and other resources, just call 211 or go to mi211.org/dot. What a mess. Jesus. Yeah. You don't know the hell you talking about. My daddy did, so I know what the hell you talking about. Somewhere. That's the latest, everybody. Will this woman be charged with homicide, or will they give her a pass? What will the autopsy show? Were the children eating? Did she get any type of food stamps to feed her children? Did the mother draw food stamps for her child? A lot going on. A lot going on. Just like I said before, there's always a story of a child dying just as quick as I was talking about this Megan Boswell story. Here are now 2 children dead in Detroit. There's always some nonsense. I'm starting to wonder if you all give a fuck about kids in Detroit, because I just brought commentary not even 2 months ago about the 2 boys that were sleeping on the front porch in Detroit, and people were calling the city and the police department, and you all wouldn't do a damn thing about it. And the parents were putting out rumors that the boys were disorderly. I don't give a fuck if they were disorderly. Call the state. How the hell you think it's okay to let kids sleep outside on the front porch in the dead of winter? It's crazy. So Detroit, you all need to get it together, because you're the same ones that allow people to break in people's houses and squat because you feel like it's a civil issue and people need to go to court. So that's the reason why all these people are sleeping in abandoned houses and buildings in Detroit, because you all think it's okay for people to just break into houses and set up heat and electricity illegally. And then now people got to go to court, take these people to court to get them out their fucking property. So Detroit, you all just You're just mangy to me right now. Just mangy to me. Just mangy ass people. Mangy ass government. You all need to get it together. Very reason why you ain't got nobody living up there now. Don't nobody want to live in Detroit. I want to take a dog up there. And that's my commentary. Sick of these stories. You all have an epidemic up there. You get it together. Get it together. We live in a crazy ass world where you got to go to court and prove who you are, and somebody's sleeping in your damn house, broke in your house, and they'll break in your house and you live there. And then what do you look like calling the police saying, hey, somebody's breaking in my house. They broke in my house. I come home, somebody in my house. Now I got. So y'all got to do better than this. This is just insane. Yeah, you better fight fire with fire. I've already said that to people. You find a squatter in your house, just go get a gas can and stand at the front door and tell them, I'll burn this motherfucker down. You want to sleep in here, or your ass will burn up in here? Or I will board it up with boards and nails. Take your pick. Oh yeah, Queen's crazy. I ain't getting ready to call the police. I ain't getting ready to go stand in no courtroom about my own damn house. You want to sit in here? You want to sit in here? I know how to get you out of here. I know how to get you out. I said it. Go get you some thugs with some boards and some wood and some nails. Start nailing the door shut. Bet you they run their ass out of there. Because nobody wants to be boarded up inside no damn house. Because we now know in the state of Michigan, it's a civil issue to get a squatter out of your house. Whether your house was just, up for sale, or you just ain't nobody living in the house, or hell, it's your own house that you live in. I remember a case where a white woman came home and a black woman was in her house and the black woman wouldn't leave. Oh shit. She'd have got her ass out of there. But I would have told her. I'd have told her, this is what I'm telling you all. Lady, how you want to go? How you want to go? How about that? How you want to go? This is the world that we're in right now. But anyway, this lady lost 2 of her children the other day. Allegedly, they froze to death. She's saying it wasn't hypothermia. We're waiting on an autopsy. Right now, she has not been charged with a crime. She says she reached out to a shelter or two in Detroit and other places out of state. Nobody had any beds. Her mother also was living there in the trailer with her. I don't know who this other black woman is. And the mother also had a kid. So this is a very weird story. I don't know how it is, or why they were homeless, how long they were homeless. But I think it's weird that 2 grown women are living in a van with kids. And then obviously running a car all night, 11 hours. Hell, the car ran out of gas. So, I don't even know how much gas went up on the 9th floor and parked her van. Just a lot of questions with no answers. That's my commentary, everybody. Right now, the jury is deliberating the fate of Megan BOSWELL, who's been accused of killing her 15-month-old daughter, Evelyn. How will the jury weigh? She's facing 19 counts. First-degree murder. Will they convict her on first-degree murder and the other 18 counts? I say yes. I pray yes. We do not want this thing walking the street. She don't need to be free. Another Susan Smith, Casey Anthony. We already got one bum walking free, and that's Casey Anthony. We don't need another one walking free. Because that would be no justice for Evelyn if this thing gets a lesser charge. And also they can give her lesser charge as well. That was mentioned during court on the little sheet of paper they gave them. They got boxes they can check to give her a lesser charge. Facilitation or abuse or, God, I hope not. God, please do not let one person hang this damn jury. Do not let one person hang this jury. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. Take the polls on my community page. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeganJu 129 Cash App. Thank you all for your time. I got to take a break. I've been on too long, 4 hours earlier this morning. And then I did another live a few hours ago. And then this live. So I've had no rest. I've got to rest. So I thank you all for your time. I don't know if I'm going to come back for the verdict. I just got to get some rest right quick. So I thank you for your time. Thank you, Nanny, Constance. Welcome. Welcome all viewers, subscribers. Thank you all so much for your time. God bless you. Prayers for this family. Prayers for these children, because the children got to have somewhere to sleep. Don't know where the other children are. I don't know who this woman is. Is this her mother or whatever? I don't know. They said the mother's 48 years old. I don't know who this other black woman is. I don't know what's going on with this chick. Why she's homeless, why she and her mom are both homeless, I don't know. But I don't wish homelessness on anybody, because one thing we've learned about life right now, anybody can end up homeless at the drop of a hat. Anything can happen to you. House flood, catch on fire, no insurance. You miss one rent payments. You get sick, you don't have medical insurance. You can also end up homeless yourself. So always remember that. You never know what situation you can end up in. You may have to end up walking in somebody else's shoes one day. So always keep that in mind. Thank you all for listening to the Vault XL. Let's get justice for Evelyn, everybody. Praying for justice. Amen.